It is not mere coincidence that Falun Gong, or Falun Dafa as it is also known, has emerged from China, a land with a 5,000-year history of inventions, culture, and deep spirituality. From its earliest establishment, Chinese culture has embraced the concept of the oneness of heaven and man. The way to achieve the oneness, or one's true self, is cultivation practice. Many of the essential tools of Falun Dafa were taught in private for thousands of years via master-to-student transmission. In China, there is a relatively deep understanding of the concept of cultivation. The term in Chinese is shu lian. Shu means to repair or fix. Lian means to smelt or refine. In this character, it looks similar to and has the same pronunciation as the term to practice, including exercises.
Was there anything about the practice that at first made you a little leery or suspect? I mean, people outside doing exercises, did that bother you?
Yeah, I mean it's not such an American thing yet, I guess, right? I was really more interested in the principles of truth, compassion, tolerance. I thought the exercises were a little funny at first just because I had never seen them before, but they're actually really, really peaceful. So, it's good sometimes to try new things.
Although the concept of cultivation may not be familiar to many Westerners, it is a general understanding that anything spiritual or transcending the human world has traditionally come under the heading of religion. Both religions and cultivation practices have the goal of returning to one's true or original home.
Well, I think I just ask myself to, when I close my eyes, who am I? Like, who do I identify with that's beyond my physical form? And so for that, what people call, I guess, my soul, really, the journey of my soul, I decided was bigger than this lifetime, so I couldn't make all the decisions for my whole journey based on this life.
Wow, that's pretty deep stuff.
I guess I was inclined to philosophy and things before I became a practitioner, so I guess...
So you find that Falun Gong has provided some answers for you in that regard?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like it's like a lot of different things that I encountered up to the time that I started practicing would tell me to be good, but I didn't feel like they really gave me more insight as to why, really more in depth. So it's like nothing else. It's been amazing.
Falun Dafa, then, is a holistic spiritual cultivation practice deeply rooted in ancient Chinese culture. Falun Dafa encompasses the essence of all other cultivation ways in the form of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. Jian, Shan, Ren. To many Westerners who have taken up Falun Dafa, there is an appreciation and understanding that cultivation is a simple but arduous process that naturally fits into and improves one's life.
Well, in the beginning, I think I wasn't very diligent in the beginning, and I learned the principles of truth, compassion, tolerance, and some of the principles were expounded on very specifically in the book. But I had a hard time, I was learning more and more about what was right and what was wrong, and what's the proper way to behave as a person and what isn't. And it became more evident to me more and more about that I should be careful about what I say, be careful about what I do and how I treat other people, and especially how I treat myself, what I put inside of my own body, what I watch. I used to be a little bit of a smoker, and I used to drink, and I let those things go gradually. It's been a really interesting journey, and I think it started out slow and then it kind of progressed to move faster and faster, and I feel like I've improved a lot in many, many, many ways. My mind has become more pure, more clear. I feel my body is lighter. I feel cleaner, healthier.
Falun Dafa was introduced to the public in 1992 by Mr. Li Hongzhi, its founder and teacher. Currently, over 100 million people in over 60 countries practice the simple, graceful exercises while striving to conduct their lives according to Falun Dafa's fundamental guiding principle: truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. In over 50 lecture series from 1992 to 1994, Mr. Li Hongshi conducted 2-hour sessions on the average for 9 days per series. By the end of the lecture series, attendees would have received the essential teachings and learned all 5 sets of exercises. In December 1994, the main text of Falun Dafa, Zhuan Falun, was published, and the lecture series in China came to an end. The book was a compilation of these lectures. Newcomers and veterans alike were able to use the book for continuous improvement, providing guidance at every stage of their cultivation. The effort to cultivate one's character separates Falun Dafa from most other Qigong practices in China over the past several decades. As other practices focus primarily on physical exercise, improving oneself by actively and genuinely following the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance in one's daily life is considered the heart of cultivation in Falun Dafa. While cultivating character, practitioners are directly and positively affecting their physical health. Indeed, because of its tremendous power to improve health, Falun Dafa stood out from the myriad of other Qigong systems being taught and practiced at that time. Falun Gong was nominated twice as the Star Qigong School in the 1992 and 1993 Asian Health Expo in Beijing. Before 1999, testimonies of the supreme health benefits of the Falun Gong exercises were commonplace. State-controlled media, including national and local newspapers, TV and radio stations, frequently covered the activities and the benefits of Falun Gong practice.
And because I had practiced some Qigong exercise in the past, naturally I wanted to try Falun Gong. But when I learned Falun Gong, I found it was more than just an exercise. It was also a teaching of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance that I could incorporate into my daily life, and it helped me a lot.
So tell us some of the ways that it's helped you.
I believe the greatest way that it's helped me is that it's enabled me to become more tolerant toward others, more compassionate, and it's allowed me to discover my true nature, which is like that. It is tolerant and it is compassionate. And to be honest, I really didn't know that part of myself before Falun Dafa.
So I was always searching for something, and while I was working at this store, a woman used to always come in who actually practiced Falun Gong, and we became good friends, and she eventually gave me a flyer for the practice, and I went and I checked out the practice, and it was really the most genuine thing I'd ever seen. I mean, the teachings were actually, very good, and just about being a more selfless person and a good person, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So of course I kept practicing, and the benefits I've received have been immense.
In 1994 and 1995, Mr. Li Hongshi traveled and lectured abroad in Australia, Canada, Europe, and the United States. He became a United States citizen in 1997 and moved to New York City in 1998.